Joe Biden said it.
Folks, we got a lot of work to do. I don't only need you to get me elected, I need you once I'm elected.
He doesn't need the votes of the voters to win this election. And he also said that
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
which to many was just another gaffe of the Joe Biden gaffe machine. But I have a different interpretation of that given the current status of the American elections. In the past 2 days, we have seen very weird things happening in certain states. For example, tens of thousands of ballots appearing for Joe Biden out of nowhere, and they were counted almost immediately. This at a time that states still counting votes claim that there are so many votes, and especially mail-in ballot votes, that they need time to count them all. But when in the middle of the night tens of thousands appear for Joe Biden, then they are counted in a matter of hours. And statistically speaking, this is impossible because you would also have some votes for Trump. But no, all of them were immediately for Biden. We have also learned about poll watchers on the Republican side being prevented, for example in Michigan, of doing their job, which is to watch the polls, to check that the ballots are being counted properly and that they have the proper signatures of the voter that registered for that ballot, and also that the date is either the election date or previous dates. But they are being prevented from doing so, which is another red flag. And also the rule changes that were made in states like Pennsylvania, where all of a sudden mail-in ballots are allowed to be accepted even if the signature on the ballot does not correspond to the voter registered for that ballot. And even if the date is not present or is after the election day, which is absolutely absurd. How is this not fraud? This is the perfect embodiment of fraud because someone else can be voting for you because the signature does not match, and you may be casting your vote after election day. So how does that count? But that's exactly what the Democrats promoted in Pennsylvania, and they are allowing it to proceed this way. And this is also why I think that these will be decided in court, and there are already a few lawsuits in place precisely for that. There will be recounts, and these ballots that come after election day or that the signature does not match the voter registered for the ballot, these ballots may be considered invalid because it makes no sense to validate them without having the proper signature and without them having the proper date. However, even the date thing becomes murky because, as you probably know, the US Postal Service endorsed Joe Biden. And Project Veritas recently had a whistleblower revealing that in Michigan, the US Postal Service is actually stamping the proper date to ballots that come after Election Day. So ballots were cast on the 4th of November, but the US Postal Service in Michigan are stamping it with the date of election, which was November 3rd, to make it look like they are legit. So you can't even trust that. So either these votes are all invalidated, or we can never be sure that they were actually made by the people that supposedly send the ballot. We are at a point where there is no trust in the institutions. The election system in the United States is being rigged, and this needs obviously to be investigated and litigated as well to the last possible step. Because the left, and if you follow my channel you already know this, they have absolutely no limits when they want to grab power. And this time they also want to make sure that they remove Donald Trump because he is not working for the regime, he's not working for the system, he works for the American people. And that's why I always liked Trump in the sense that his policies make absolute sense for any country, for any nation. You may disagree with how he presents them, you may disagree with how he talks, but what matters to me are policies, and those policies are sound. Plus, he promoted peace deals, historic peace deals that no one ever did. He made sure that he was focused on the United States, and he was a president of the United States and not the police of the world. The previous United States presidents didn't work as much as the United States president. They worked as the police of the world, which caused many conflicts, which caused many wars, which caused many problems for everyone in the world. So when a man like Trump comes along and doesn't care about any of that, In fact, he wants peace, he promotes peace, and he is taking out troops, or tries to take out troops from foreign countries back to the US, while he's focused on doing good trade deals for his country, lowering unemployment, reducing taxes, and reducing bureaucracy. That's what I expect from any leader in any country. How I wish that in Portugal we could have a leader like Donald Trump. He would make this country work. He would make sure that whatever we have, we maximize it, and we make sure that we are prosperous. But that's not what we have in Portugal. We have the exact opposite. And it's also what the United States will have if Joe Biden eventually wins. They will have some of the most radical policies being applied there, and they will suffer from it. It's sad that this is the current status. Hopefully this can be all worked out, the votes counted properly, and then we will see who actually won. Anyway, I hope you like this, and I'll see you next time.